What's up everyone, Snooploop7 here, and there's two things I want to talk about. First is this gameplay here you're watching, and then second thing I'm going to talk about is Titanfall. So first off, this is a domination gameplay on the map Warhawk where my team wins 200-0. So it's a complete shutout. The other team does not capture a single flag, and this is the first time I've ever done this. I'm sure it's fairly rare that a team doesn't capture anything. I mean, I've had games where the other team has like 24, 27 points, really low scoring things like that. But this is the first time I've ever actually shut out a team in domination. And it wasn't because I played crazy good or anything like that. I went 23-3 with only one capture. Not that I could have gotten many captures since the other team wasn't capping anything. But, I mean, it just felt like somewhat of a slow-paced game. Even though I only had 23 kills, it was still the most in the game, which is rare for domination. But I was actually kind of surprised that they weren't able to capture anything, because it was just me playing solo with a bunch of randoms. It wasn't like we were communicating and organized or something like that. And also, the game before this was a pretty decent game. My team won 200-140, so it's not like the people in the lobby were kids that had no idea what they were doing. But basically what I think happened is that on Warhawk, you don't spawn right next to a flag. You start kind of right between the B flag and either the A or the C flag. So at the start, I think the majority of their players went towards B, which is why I died there at the start, and only one of them went to the C flag. And one of my teammates, who probably had lightweight and marathon, went all the way to the C flag as well, and they actually killed the guy capping C before he could get it, and then he proceeded to capture it himself. So really, it was that teammate that allowed us to get the shutout, so shout out to him, straight beastin'. And then after that, they just did a really bad job of pushing for flags. I mean, after they killed me at B, none of them jumped onto the B flag to try and capture it. I end up killing a few guys that go for the A flag throughout the game. My teammate was at C protecting it, and then no one ended up capturing the B flag until about halfway through the game when we captured it. But that's basically how I got a shutout, a little luck and a little skill. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever gotten a shutout in a Call of Duty game. So now on to my next topic, Titanfall. A new first-person shooter coming out in March. I'm sure you've heard plenty about it. It's gotten a lot of hype. They recently had the beta for it. It's made by Respawn Entertainment, and this company was started by members of the Infinity Ward team that made Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. There was some turmoil with Infinity Ward, so they left, started Respawn, and this is their first game. So a lot of people are excited. Many people consider Modern Warfare 2 to be the best game in the series, especially in terms of things like hit detection and overall fluidness of gameplay. And so it's those kind of things that are expected to be in Titanfall that a lot of people are excited about. Now, originally, Respawn only made this game for Xbox One and PC, and so I thought I wouldn't be able to play it, but in January it was announced that it would also be ported to the 360. However, it's not being ported by Respawn, it's actually being developed for the 360 by a different company called Bluepoint Games. And one of the things that had me worried is that oftentimes the ported version of a game is not nearly as good. There can be a lot of problems and bugs that shouldn't be there. And so basically a game is usually developed for one system then ported to the others. And the reason is basically the different hardware that's used. So like the graphics card in one console is going to be different from the other. So they have to make adjustments to the game to account for that when they're porting it. And this can lead to problems in the game if not done correctly. So oftentimes the game runs much better on whatever system it was originally developed for, and the ported version not so much. For example, Call of Duty Ghosts I believe was made for the Xbox and then ported over from there, and I know the PC version of Ghosts has had a ton more problems compared to the consoles, and that's because it was just ported poorly. So with Titanfall being made for the Xbox One and then ported down to the 360, it makes me wonder how well it's going to be done. Is it going to have all the same features, things like that. Also, the Titanfall beta was only for Xbox One and PC, so there's really no knowing what it's going to be like at this point on the 360. But I've decided that I am going to get Titanfall anyway, and here's why. So first of all, it looks like a lot of fun. I've watched a good amount of streams and gameplays of people playing the beta, and it just left a really good impression. It looks like a game that I would really enjoy playing. Also, even though it's been ported to the 360, I have a feeling that they're going to do a really good job with it. Because normally the company that develops the game is also the one that makes the ports of the game, but in this case it's a different company, which means that Respawn can focus on perfecting the Xbox One and PC version, and Bluepoint Games can work on making the port for the 360 as good as possible, so they can each just focus on their own part. And it's not like Bluepoint is made up of no-name people either. They have people that helped make Metroid Prime, They made the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, God of War collection, and other things as well. So they have credible experience as well. And then on top of that, they're going to have an extra 2 weeks to perfect it. Titanfall comes out March 11th on Xbox One and PC, and then on March 25th on Xbox 360. And even though it kind of sucks that it comes out 2 weeks later, I would rather they port it correctly and be a little late than have it come out the same time but be full of problems and bugs. And because they're not forcing it out, it tells me that they're doing it right. And it tells me they want it to be a good experience for the gamer, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. But let me know in the comments below if you're getting Titanfall and what system you're getting it for. That about wraps this video up. Nothing else really happens in the gameplay. As you saw when I was in the Helo pilot, there was a host migration and the majority of their team left. So for the most part I was just running around the map trying to find people. So I hope you enjoyed the Shutout gameplay and the Titanfall talk. Don't forget to leave a like, rating, follow me on Twitter, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Nice work, team. Well done.